Okay, so today we're doing lesson 3 of the medicine booklet. Lesson 3, what did the people in the Middle Ages believe caused disease and illness? By the end of today, we should be able to analyse medieval ideas about the cause of illness and disease. So in the same format as usual, we have our low-stake quiz questions here, and they will be reflective of the previous 2 lessons that you've already done. We also have some information here just explaining about each cause and disease. So the cause of disease, in the Middle Ages can be split into 2 separate categories. One category is supernatural thinking and supernatural ideas of causes of disease. And the other one is natural thinking, so natural reasons why, that cause disease and illness. Now, for supernatural thinking, we have over here the idea of God. So in this box over here, what you would do is kind of read through the information and take out what you can from this information and summarize it in these 4 boxes. Obviously, you're more than welcome to do your own research to bulk out each box to fully understand it. So the first one that we have here is a supernatural cause of disease. And that is the idea that God sent disease and illness as a punishment. Since we're only talking about the causes of it, we're just talking about what people believed caused disease, but there obviously in the next few lessons we'll think about how people decided to counteract that, since generally most people in the Middle Ages, again being a heavy Christian society, believed that God sent disease and illness. The other supernatural cause of disease is over here, and it's the idea of astrology. So again, I'm going to write down that this is a supernatural cause. And the basic study of this astrology was the idea that when planets have aligned in a certain way, or there are movements of planets, it affects the body in a certain way. Now, these supernatural causes can be linked to the other 2 ideas, which are more natural. So I'll talk about in a second how the alignment of planets may have affected something else. But before I do that, we're going to think about this natural cause, which is the idea of something. So this is a term to explain a kind of bad air. And this term was called miasma. Now, the idea of miasma is that it was an air perhaps due to rotting things on the street or dead bodies that again might have affected a person. Now, generally people believed that miasma was again a natural cause of disease. You have to understand that in the Middle Ages there is no concept of the idea of germs or the idea of bacteria. So we're thinking about a time before there was an idea, there was this understanding of germs. So the way people distinguished the idea of causing disease would have been these 4 causes. Which brings us on to our last one. So you may have studied, if you did the online project in year 9, about the idea of ancient medicine, Galen and Hippocrates. And the reason why they're so important to our course is that they created the theory of the 4 humours. And what this is based on is the idea that they were able to observe 4 humours, which are blood, yellow bile, black bile, and phlegm. And the idea is that every single person has these 4 humours inside of them. But when the 4 humours are unbalanced, that is when there is disease or illness present in that person. So naturally, the people in the Middle Ages thought that to, again, counteract this idea or to cure this illness caused by the 4 humours, you'd have to balance out the humours again. So let me just put in here Again, that we're thinking that this is a natural idea. Now, the four humours are really important because they kind of form the basis of a lot of the Middle Ages. In fact, all of it, and into the Renaissance period. Generally, in the Middle Ages, all of these were, viable options that people thought caused disease and illness. Now, once you've read through the information and filled in each box to kind of think about those four different causes, you then have to make at least 3 interesting points about medieval beliefs about the cause of illness using the following phrases or words. So what you'd have to do is, thinking about what you've just summarised, think about how you can categorise the idea of supernatural thinking, for example, astrology and God sending disease as punishment, and the idea of natural thinking, and the four humours and miasma. Another thing to notice is that over here you have key phrases like attitudes in society and control of the church. So you would have recognised that these are terms or factors of medicine. Now, what's important here is this asking you to make at least 3 interesting points about medieval beliefs about the cause of illness. So, since these are the phrases that we're asking you to use, you need to think about last lesson. So for lesson 2, you studied how the Catholic Church was extremely dominant in Europe. The church controlled education. Attitude in society was that they respected the church, they didn't oppose the church. Think about how does that dominance maybe pave way for what people think caused disease. Because if the church was to be in charge of everything and, had a real dominance in people's lives, then naturally this is the thing that they would be pushing. They would be pushing the agenda of God sending out disease and illness as punishment. And as a way to kind of make people live their lives in certain ways, they may have suggested certain things to do. For example, pray or pilgrimage. Now, once you finish that, you should have a kind of thorough understanding of what caused disease and illness in the Middle Ages. Thank you.